A few of the data sets that are available include the National Longitudinal Study of Adolescent Health, commonly known as AdHealth. This is a nationally representative school-based survey. Wave 1 of the survey included adolescents in grades 7 through 12 in the United States. AdHealth includes survey data on social, economic, psychological, and physical well-being of adolescents. Next is the Mars Crater Study. As you may know, the planet Mars has terrain that is heavily cratered. These craters were created about 4 billion years ago during a period of heavy bombardment from asteroids, protoplanets, and comets. Made available by researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder, this data set includes characteristics of more than 350,000 of these Mars craters. Also available is a portion of the Wave 1 National Epidemiologic Study of Alcohol and Related Conditions, commonly known as NESARC. This is a representative sample of the U.S. adult population age 18 and older, and it includes data on mental health and substance use disorders that are experienced by adults. Another data set is the Gapminder data set, which is made available by gapminder.org. It includes numerous measures from 195 countries. The data have been collected from various sources, including the World Health Organization, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, the United Nations, and the World Bank. In order to help you learn more about these data sets and which one you are most interested in, you'll be reviewing the available codebooks from these data sets. Sometimes called data dictionaries, codebooks commonly offer complete information regarding a data set. That is, general topics addressed, questions and/or measurements used to record each of the variables, and in some cases, the frequency of responses or values of each of the variables. Reviewing a codebook is always the first step in research based on existing data. First of all, codebooks can be used to generate research questions. Second of all, data is often useless and completely uninterpretable without them. The codebook describes how the data are arranged in the computer file, what the various numbers and letters mean, and any special instructions on how to use the data properly. Like any other book, some codebooks are better than others. In the AdHealth codebook, each variable has a description of what is measured. In this case, it's the question of what grade you're in. A codebook will also include the various measurement or response options. For this variable, possible response options include 7th through 12th grade, refusal to answer the question, a legitimate skip for those not in school, don't know, and the school does not have the grade levels or the question is not applicable. Aside from including a listing or description of the response options for the variable, the codebook will also include corresponding values that can be found in the dataset. As we saw previously with the medical records dataset example, datasets typically include numbers rather than words. So for categorical variables, such as grade level, each of the response options has a corresponding numeric value, and it's that numeric value that can be found in the dataset. You can see that 7th through 12th graders are logically coded as the number 7 through 12. 96 indicates that the adolescent refused to answer. 97 indicates a legitimate skip for the adolescents who are not currently in school. 98 indicates don't know, and 99 is recorded in a case where the school does not have grade levels. These numeric values are known as dummy codes, as they are included in the dataset, but they carry no direct numeric meaning. Here's an excerpt from the Mars Crater Codebook. It includes a description of the variables for the crater's name, latitude, longitude, and diameter. Also the depth of the crater's rim, as well as the variable's name in the dataset. Because most of these are quantitative variables, rather than listing a response option, the codebook includes a description of how the variable is measured. For example, latitude is measured in decimal degrees north, longitude is measured in decimal degrees east, and both diameter and depth are measured in kilometers. From the Gapminder dataset, we see a slightly different look to the codebook, but very similar features. You can see that the middle column describes each of the variables. The column on the left indicates the variable name used in the dataset, and finally the right-hand column lists the source of data. Again, these are quantitative variables. The codebook includes information about how each of these variables were measured. You can see that income per person is measured in US dollars, alcohol consumption is measured in liters of pure alcohol, armed forces is measured as the percent of the total labor force, and breast cancer rate is measured as new cases per 100,000 females.
So I chose Ad Health. I was really interested in health and specifically for young adults or adolescents.
Me being natural sciences, I was kind of drawn to the Mars crater study.
I knew that I wanted to connect it to whatever I'm doing with music and Latin American research.
So I use the Gapminder dataset. It's more worldly, economically excellent for comparing things across countries.
My data came from Ad Health. I think it was about 39 different codebooks, and each of them could have up to like 30 different questions. So we had a lot of data that we could look through. But it was organized into topics, so I looked at the codebook that discussed parental relationships. I looked at the codebook that discussed sibling relationships.
They were describing these craters with like such funny descriptions that I would never have thought of. And so that kind of drew me in. Like I was wondering like why scientists were naming these things.
Each student can look at the same data set but come up with a different research question, and they can choose to analyze it in a different way. And where they take that is completely their own.